Holy shit. Shokugeki no fucking Soma. The truth, people. Um, it's time to talk about chapter 140. Fucking Azan. Azan Senpai. This guy is a dick. A bribing dick. Like, for real, guys. Like, it sucks because it's like, Soma is trying so hard to keep Polar Star, but it's like, you can challenge me to a Shokugeki, but I'm just going to bribe the judges. They did not even taste the food. Azan did not even bother to, like, focus on his cooking. He could have handed them McDonald's. Like, like, straight up, he could have imported, like, the 30 year old hamburger that was in that one guy's pocket, You guys hear about that? But he could have handed them McDonald's. And he still skewers senpai. But yeah, up until this point has been, as they say, returned by Shokugeki. As long as they've accepted the challenge, anything can be overturned. But Azan's words at the very end: the Shokugeki is dead. That's obviously, man, he's got a lot of money. Like, this man is probably swimming in yen. So, how are they going to stop Azan? Well, they're not going to be bribed. They follow Azan. Like, for example, yeah, then they would have no obligation. But obviously, you say, um, you know, Doji Magin, perhaps Shinomiya, perhaps qualify as Shokugeki judges. Not to be derogatory, but that girl, I forget her name, but yeah, she can qualify. The Curry twins, Natsume and her twin, can qualify. Like, there's actually a lot of them don't necessarily want Azumi to succeed, and it seems like Azan fan of Azumi. If you think about it, he's taken down all these, but he's bribing the judges so that he can take them down for Azumi to success, I'm assuming. Which I guess Azumi did talk to them beforehand because he was able to convince them to vote for him. So, I don't know. Whatever Azan's doing for Azumi, I mean, there's got to be a solid reason. He wouldn't frivolously do this. So, Azan's face is like, the fuck? Like, that crazy face. It's, yeah. And of course, Soma has some, like, serious badass faces. Like, when he's looking at Azan, like, dude, I'm gonna save Polar Star and I'm gonna fuck you up, So, the chapter contents itself are pretty simple, but there's obviously more in depth to talk about. Obviously, what role is Erina gonna play in this? Because as of right now, she's hiding. But, there's definitely, when it comes to bribery, is Azan more wealthy than the Nakiris? Because, even if Senzaemon has been basically driven out of the mansion, that doesn't necessarily mean that Senzaemon and Erina are broke. There's certainly a chance Nakiri's sans Azumi, of course, could obviously what I mean by fund is counter bribing. Say you, I will match it, so that you can be as unbiased as possible. If you can't get like certain alumni like Gin, again, like all the names I mentioned. I mean, obviously he's more than qualified to be a friggin' judge, um, but regardless of all that, there could be, yeah, like I said, there could be some stuff where there's some counter bribing to make it fair. Because if Azon gets taken down, um, there's a good chance that Azumi is left a little bit more vulnerable, I guess, because his like hitman's taken out, sort of. Um, but we'll see. And I mean, if it's Soma who takes him out, I mean, Soma could replace Azon on the Elite 10, or he might just become number 10 and everybody else gets bumped up from 10 to. Wait, what is he? He was. Azon was. Wasn't Azon ninth? I can't remember. I know. I think he's ninth. I know Ishiki is seventh. Kuga is eighth. Erina is 10th. I'm pretty sure she's. I'm pretty sure Azon is 9. Um, but yeah, doesn't matter. If Azon gets taken down, it could be that either Soma replaces him or he goes to 10 and Erina gets bumped up. Who knows? Because I don't see Soma outranking Erina just yet. Like if this happens, like it seems too early for that. Um, because I think immediately if that happened, Erina would challenge Soma, and probably win. Um, Soma's good, but he's not that good yet. He's not. He's not ready to challenge Erina. Not quite. Um, I think that has been made clear, uh, even though it hasn't been fully shown yet. It's sort of clear. So, um, what else to talk about here? Um, no Azumi in this chapter, but his presence is obviously well known. So, you know, I mean, the beginning, obviously, Yuki trying to, doing some punches in the air, but she's just acting tough. She's not going to do anything. Um, you know, there's not much else this time around. Someone inviting him for tea, that's all funny, but I don't know. There's just what I talked about was more the meat of the chapter and what this means for the overall series, uh, especially the arc. So, like, are we in a new arc? Like, is this technically a new arc? Because like the end of the whatever it was, the moon offering or whatever festival, like there was like no like solid conclusion to it, sort of, because that on that last night after Soma won and they went to Aishi's uh place to experience his cooking, and then all of a sudden, like in an instant. So I guess that what this arc will be called. I mean, that's either up to Sukuda Yuto or decides to name it, or if we decide to name it. Um, but of course, Azumi as the villain. Um, yeah. Uh, as I reiterate before I close out, what could be Senzaemon and/or Erina's role in this upcoming, quote unquote battle against Azan? Because obviously they're not just gonna go out without a fight. Obviously, um, even if Azan believes the Shokugeki is dead, the dream is not dead, guys. It's not. it's called Shokugeki no Soma. It's not gonna just end just like that, obviously. Um, Again, there's gonna have to be some kind of countermeasures, whether or not it's counter bribing or unbiased judges that won't accept bribes. Um, we'll have to find out. But Azon, I feel like at the end of this arc is going down. That's my personal opinion. This chapter overall, I would say, is good for story progression, character development. Um, we really face. Um, we knew kind of we can now like completely confirm and believe it that this guy really does. So you know, it's possible that Azon is not as good as of a chef. I mean, I think so. Um, I said that's me personally, and I think Azon probably is the worst. But I'm assuming like if we get a fair fight, he may still lose, but it'll still be like a really good match. So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next week.